Happy Wednesday. It's been quite a week. I think I mentioned I'm in jury duty. I don't know if anybody's ever served jury duty, but it is quite taxing and very interesting, but it makes my day go just really, 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 really long. I need to like re-scramble my brain, get my mind right. Um, but I'm excited to chat with you guys. I love, love, love this week's episode. It is called Last Dance, and it is with our very own Quentin Perron. Why do I always want to French it up, man? Perron, he told me, and I'm already giving it some zhuzh. But you guys know who Quentin is. Los Angeles Rams cheerleader, just retired after 4 amazing seasons, culminating in the Super Bowl. I mean, is he not just everybody's favorite person? His energy is like infectious, and we just had such a great conversation. And we talked about so many things. It's just, I love hearing people's story, and there's just little details, right, that you won't get unless you really just talk to somebody about it. But like hearing about that rookie year and just the whirlwind of it all. And it was just great. It was a great conversation. And I'm getting a little sentimental about the podcast ending because this is my favorite part is the storytelling with everybody just sharing their own personal experiences. It just makes for, it's just a way of preserving like our space and who the important players are, who we love, who we cherish, adore, giving people their flowers while they're here. And I don't know, I'm kind of in my feelings about us losing that. I mean, this is just one small contribution to that, right? I mean, there are other podcasts out there, people using their voice and interviewing people, and I think it's beautiful. I don't know. I've been thinking about some of the teams that are celebrating their anniversaries lately, like 60 years, 40 years. I did not write down the years because my research was just not on point. But I know I've talked about it. The Broncos are celebrating. I don't want to say it was 60 years, but they're celebrating a huge decade. Just look it up. But they're celebrating. The Raiderettes are celebrating, I believe, 60 years. I just saw a post of the Kansas City Chiefs also celebrating. I think 60 years of their program or some big number. And it just, again, I think I'm just feeling sentimental because I feel like if our programs aren't preserved or like at least the history shared about our programs, um, historical facts like who started this, like what are the trends and the traditions of these different programs. I worry that it's getting lost. Like we should have our own freaking like pro cheerleading, pro dance museum or like history and Wikipedia or something where like it's just preserved somewhere. And I guess I'm just getting like, oh no, we're gonna lose it. Um, if it's not documented properly. So I just encourage anybody who's part of those teams as you're getting together and celebrating your anniversaries. I hope that social media is just covering it big time so that I can kind of see what's going on. But I don't know. I wish there was a way that we could share that in a more meaningful way. Some websites, at least for NFL that I've seen, have been really great about giving the history of the cheerleading program, like lots of information about it. And I wish that was something that all the teams did because if it's not documented there, like when is it going to be documented? I know I've talked about that before, but whatever. I'm in my fields today, and I don't know. I think we need to like preserve it because if we're not talking about it, who's gonna freaking know? And maybe you'll go through it in orientation, but I think it needs to be shared beyond your team. Do you guys agree? I mean, that's what I think. But um, let's see. So last week, y'all gave me the tea. I was again in jury duty, so my brain was elsewhere. I don't even know if I was in jury duty last week. It's just been a blur. But the point is, thank you for giving me the scoop about the news with the Las Vegas Raiders. I've had a chance to research. I know it's old news now, but I'm just going to give my 2 cents because people asked. But if you haven't heard, they have a new president, the first Black female president in the NFL ever. She is the third woman NFL team president in the NFL and the third African American team president. She joins, like I said, Jason Wright from the Washington Commanders, and also Sashi Brown from the Cleveland Browns. I didn't even realize that they had an African American team president, but her background is dope. I mean, shout out to lawyers because, she's just doing the damn thing. She's got hell of an impressive resume. She seems like such a great fit. the local ties to Vegas. Um, I heard she has a cheerleading background and even shows some love to the Raiderettes. So I think it's an amazing step in the right direction. I know that their organization has gone through a lot of turmoil and new reconnecting, hold please. New leadership always is just a blast of new energy, perspective, vision, and I'm excited to see the stability of the program under her leadership. So thanks for sharing. I love when you guys hit me off with news. People have been writing and asking me, shifting gears, about what's up with the Minnesota Timberwolves dancers. Um, I'm getting more concerned because I told you guys that like they haven't posted anything about auditions on Instagram, but they also no longer have a presence on their website at all. Like not at all. No, not just audition information. There's a link in their bio, but if you go to the website, there's just no information on the dancers at all. Maybe it's in development. Maybe they're sorting through. Maybe they have to get their developers to get the information up on the website. I don't know, but it's getting, it's July, so auditions should be happening. So I don't know what's going on. I've got my eyes and ears plugged. If you know anything other than the rumor that there's a new director, feel free to let me know, and I'll happy to share it out to people. Which led me to thinking, because there's so many audition prep programs, and if you guys recall, I think it was a feedback episode. I think that's what I named it. I'm really curious now because people have gone through NFL auditions, NBA auditions are underway. How are these prep programs going? Like, is it a good investment of your money? Are you having a lot of success with a particular company? Is it helping you to prepare and train? Do you feel like you're walking in prepared? Have the audition processes changed so much that now it's hella funky? You had a bad experience, a really positive experience? Like, I just want some information, I guess, on how these training programs are like, moving with the times, because I feel like the auditions have shifted a lot with COVID. And yeah, I'm just curious how you guys are doing. This is the time of year that everybody loves and hates. Like, you're training and you're doing all of these things, and hopefully you're doing the right things to prepare yourself to make these teams. But um, I want to know what's helping you. I want to know what's helping. Quentin, happy podcast host like day. I'm making shit up. Happy podcast day, Quentin. I'm glad you joined. I was just saying how pumped I was about this episode. Feel free to join me again if you want to. I love when you join me on live. And I'll let you talk this time. Anyway, but I just want to put a little feeler out there to see how everybody is doing with auditions and the prep programs in particular. So do let me know, because I'm nosy and I want to know if it's helping you guys. Happy podcast day. That's Quentin, y'all. I'm so excited though. Like, this episode was just so fun, and we talked about so many things. And Quentin, actually, you inspired what I wanted to talk about today. Make sure I touched on everything else. Let's see. Oh, please, as I flip a page. But yeah, Quentin, we talked about so many things, like the music copyright stuff, and just kind of like how you guys work so damn hard and nobody gets to see your performances and what you do. And it got me to thinking. So if you guys did not know, Quentin was one of the judges when I, like in 2020, kind of on the whim, like completely went down the deep end of like, it'll be fun to do like a playoffs where like you have performances of the different NBA teams and we get to vote on our favorite performance, and we'll have like a bracket like March Madness. I mean, it was kind of thought out, but it was very much fly by the seat of your pants. But I have some of it still on my Instagram feed, but it was really, really fun. And we assembled like a group of judges, and Quentin was one of them. We had Candace, we had Johnny, we had um, Michelle Vaughn. And so it was actually, I'm sure, a lot of work. Quentin, you could tell me that it was too much, but it was fun. And so when we were talking in our episode, I was just like, what if we just did it again? I know that teams have rules about like posting performances because of getting in trouble. I mean, I kind of got in trouble, but I kept contesting my copyright notices. Watch my Instagram get shut down, and then bye bye everybody. But with the podcast ending in like middle of August ish, I, still want to stay very connected to you guys. I'm still going to be watching. I'm still going to be jumping on live here and there. But I just thought, like, what if we just all worked together here and towed the line as much as we could, but it would require like, if you guys are interested, like the idea, we did it with the NBA. I would love to do it again with the NBA too, but we didn't really try NFL. And I know that there are so many variations for NFL teams. Like not everybody has a pregame routine. Not the whole squad doesn't always perform together. It might be half and half on each end zone. But I just wanted to like start getting the performances out there. I haven't been like scouring YouTube land to figure out like, who's posting performances of NFL cheerleading teams, but I know y'all's mama, cousin, friend, somebody's at the game for you with the tickets that you get who are hopefully taking footage of your performances. And I don't want to have it like some bootleg, like ratchet kind of production, but I'm willing to just get what we get week to week. It may not be like a full, like there needs to be some commitment, right? Like I can't go to every game. But I just thought like even if we could just have like one performance where we can show like all of the teams that have stunters, like wouldn't you guys want to see like what the Saints crew does compared to what the Ravens do, compared to what the Titans do? Like wouldn't that be freaking interesting? And it doesn't have to be like, everybody's got a freaking iPhone. Even I ended up getting an iPhone, but like it doesn't have to be some like crazy view. Just can we hear the music? Can we see what's going on? Possibly not from the big screen because the big screen has like the delay and blah blah blah. But I just want to get your thoughts on if we should go for it because I'm bored with not being able to see performances personally. That's why I traveled so much last year um, and this year because I just wanted to see you guys living your best lives and getting like your dancers. Quentin said in the episode, like your dancers, your superheroes, like you aren't even being able to showcase your talent, and that drives me batty. So, um, if this sounds at all enticing, I could put more information in the story. But I would like to put together, while it's early, while we're thinking about it, like just videos of your performances. And, based on what comes in, I can try to pair things and we can kind of, it's all in the spirit of fun. We don't even have to have voting, but I'm going to stick my Instagram neck out on the line to say that I will post the performances, not on my feed, but in my story. And we'll just kind of do what we did before. I thought it was really interesting. I did like showcases on the captains. I give a little blurb on the directors. Maybe I'll unarchive some shit so you guys can see like what it looked like. But it was so much fun. It was a lot of work. And I really appreciate my judges. I see Michelle Vaughn here. Hey, Michelle. She was also a judge, but I just kind of I want to see more performances. And I don't know about you, but I think it's about time to find some ways of getting around some of the limitations that we have. And hopefully I'll still have an Instagram to speak of, but I just think I want to see what you guys do. I want to see the dances. I'm over it. I want to see the differences between different teams. I want to see what teams still travel down the field, like with yard lines, like things that Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders did that we used to do, the Seattle Seahawks a long time ago. So I just want to get a vibe for what people are doing. And if there's a way to kind of, on a weekly basis, if you want to send in your performances, I can try to pair things that are similar in nature to hip hop performances, to jazz performances. What do you think? I want to hear some thoughts. Do you think that would be fun? Or do you think it would be worth it? Um, because I'll do it. I mean, I won't be recording episodes, so it might be a lot easier to keep up with. It'll be more organized than what I'm pitching, but I just wanted to get your thoughts because I'm very tempted. While it's early, before your first preseason game, if you guys just have some footage of your performances from the game that you can either, we'll figure out the logistics. I can post about it. But last time, just so you know, I ended up taking videos from YouTube, converting it, breaking it up to fit into a story. I would show one team, I would show the other team. You would vote on the one you liked best. And then we had the judges' scores. So that kind of ranked everybody. And then it kind of like was elimination style leading up to the champion. And that was the Atlanta Hawks dancers last year. Y'all voted. People were sharing it. I mean, it had a lot of success. And so I just wanted to throw it out there as an idea because I'm very, very tempted to do it again, but this time with the NFL twist. Pause for the cause. Thoughts? What do you think? Wave or do something that indicates like yes or maybe not so much. I don't know. I'll give more information. The last thing I want to share, is just what I know so far about the New York City Knicks. What are we calling it? New York City, the Knicks dancers, damn it. I don't have a lot more to update people on other than auditions are still by invite only. I apparently hear they're coming up on Sunday. Guess where they are, y'all? They're in LA. Does that make sense to you? Is there like another audition that's up in New York? Like, y'all have to let me know what you know. I'm clearly not getting an invite, right? Um, I didn't submit. I won't. I mean, clearly I'm not in the market. But if you have information of kind of like the process so far, the little leak that I got was just more that there is an audition that's being hosted in LA. And I don't know why you would be doing it in LA if it's a New York team. I've seen Jessica Castro, who I think is rumored to be the assistant for Fatima, and she's a former Nick City dancer, kind of like pumping up the auditions and saying people should really consider it. It's a chance of a lifetime. You'll work with Fatima, and it's like if you want to have a long career and just all of those things, really hyping it up. So really, really encouraging people to submit. That's what I know. I mean, do y'all think there might be like a little TV show element to this? I'm really curious what's going on with doing it at all in New York. I mean, I've seen the flyer that Jessica posted. It's asking dancers who are either local to the New York area or willing to relocate, but I do find it odd that they would be doing an LA audition. That's what I know. I'm just sharing what I know. I just want you guys, I'm going to leave with where I started, which is think about what you can do to preserve your program before it potentially goes up in flames. That sounds really bad. I'm just saying, like, this is just so swift. And again, I'm really excited about the teams that are celebrating, 40 years, 60 years of a program. I just think that things can happen in an instant, and it's a little concerning. I I want to think about ways of us celebrating our space while we can. I'm not just the talk shit lady. Like, I want to celebrate our performances. I want to see our performances. I want to elevate as many voices as I can. And if you guys are down for the idea of doing an NFL version of this playoffs action, I think we just got to work with what we got. And I don't want to get kicked off of Instagram. But, you guys are using chopped and screwed music anyway. Maybe I won't get in trouble for posting stuff. But the idea is just for us to get a chance to see our space a little bit better. And I will orchestrate it and make it look orderly and find some judges. You'll hear from me again on this if this sounds good. Is there anything that y'all want to talk about that I have not touched on? The only other update I have too on NBA is just that it's the Timberwolves and the 76ers. I ain't seen not a word about auditions. I'm looking, I will keep you posted, but those two teams seem to be the only ones that I've detected that have not mentioned anything about auditions. What do y'all know? Y'all give me the scoop. DM me, tell me you want it private, give me whatever information that is on your mind or that you want to share. That's what's on my mind. I'm kind of willing to go into creative mode and just try to figure out how to stay inspired. Listening back to Quentin's episode definitely inspired me. I encourage everybody to go and listen to the episode. He had some truth bombs that he dropped and perspective that I think is really relevant in terms of just our space, the respect for the dancers in our space, treatment of women in our space. Like, you were preaching, Quentin, and I'm here for it. I love the episode. I encourage you all to listen. And if there is nothing else, I'm trying to keep it like brief, because I'd be going on a tangent. Y'all let me. So anything else before I go? If you guys get a jury duty notice, just try to I'm just kidding, do your civil duty, but geez Louises, this is killing me. Thank you for keeping the conversations going. You are so welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk about it, especially when other people can't. I just need to I'm not out there in these streets, so you guys got to give me the little word, but happy to keep the conversations going. That's what I'm here for. Listen to the episode, you guys. This is episode 96. As soon as I hit 100, there will be no more interviews for the foreseeable future. More of me kind of coming on, chatting with you, staying abreast of what's going on, hopefully doing fun, cool things like the playoffs idea again, and just working on things that I hope will make our space even better. So with that, I'm going to finish my glass of rosé. Happy freaking July 13th and happy podcast day. Y'all take it easy.